Oh, hello there. Lived experience speaking. How do you build your business? How do you get to a point where you, as a lived experience speaker, can book yourself out 3 months, 6 months in advance to create that financial certainty and safety around something that you love? Stick to the end, I'll tell you how. So some of the challenges that you might face, that you likely will face being someone who's been through their own journey, own experience, and you're looking to share it, is self-sabotage. That's going to be the biggest thing that you come up against. And so what I would recommend is to, number one, make sure that you are doing this for the right reasons. What I want you to do, anchor to a solid, pure intention where you are looking to help people. And as a part of that, you're going to need a mentor. You're going to need someone who is in the position that you want to be in, who has time to give you. If that means you have to pay them, then you have to pay them. What that person is going to do is they're going to cut down and minimize all the lessons that you have to learn the hard way, essentially sort of what I'm trying to do for you now. And most importantly, when you get to those places when you do your first speaking gig or you get offered your first paid gig, and for some reason you're trying to weasel your way out of it because you don't feel like you're good enough, that person is going to reflect back to you how amazing you are, so that you take those opportunities, so that you don't burn bridges, so that you don't kill those opportunities due to self-sabotage. If you're looking to get your first gig, you've written your story, you've crafted it, you've got a mentor who's going to reflect back to you how amazing you are, because you are, you need to be someone who has credibility. And the way that you do that, the easiest way to do that, which is something that I did myself, is to create your own podcast. Start recording videos. If no one sees you and no one sees that you're putting yourself out there in this position where you can talk, where you have an experience to share, if you can put yourself and solidify yourself as someone who has even a shred of credibility, you're going to put yourself in a position to build that awareness and over time build that trust, and they choose to engage you. So you have to find a medium, find a vehicle, whether that be podcast, YouTube, just posting shorts, posting articles on social media, preferably LinkedIn, and then from there staying consistent. I think it took me about 100 episodes before people trusted that I was committed to my podcast, before I started getting people reach out. That podcast alone created all the opportunities that I got. Last but not least, and I think one of the most important things around being someone who can be consistent, right? Who stays in this space for long enough to build that trust, to take on more and more opportunities, to further compound that trust and create more opportunity, and to the point where you do find yourself being booked out. One thing that I found with people coming into the space who, and this was me as well, right, is this need to have everything and to have everything fast. When you get into this space, it's gonna take time to build credibility, to build that trust, and those things are so necessary for people to give you opportunities, right? They need to know that you stand for the message that you say you stand for. They need to know that you're going to be consistent enough to stick with it if they give you that opportunity, and continue to give you opportunities. So within that, if you're someone who comes in and you don't have patience, you don't allow yourself the room and the space by having either a full-time or part-time job to cover the financials, and you're going to put the pressure on this potential job, on these opportunities to cover those bills, and with that comes scarcity, right? With that comes fear, because we're in a state of psychological unsafety because those human needs aren't going to be met. So get yourself a job or keep your job, work at this, go into it understanding that you need that backing, you need that stability and that financial certainty and safety in order to be patient with your lived experience speaking, especially if you want it to become a business. Oh mama, number 2 in the books. Pretty excited about this one because I know there are so many people that I've connected with, people in the audience who now want to share their stories. And I think this is a really good place to start. Obviously, some of the tips to recap, to overview: patience, deploy patience, have a job in the back end and learn your craft, learn how to speak, find yourself a mentor who can reflect back to you to stop you from self-sabotaging. Another one is to have that support in the back end when you're sharing your story, and commit to healing, commit to working through the things, working through the parts of your story that you're hoping to share. Because if you're not, you're essentially just bypassing. But in so doing, please set up your podcast, record your videos, set up events, and be consistent. Be consistent with your content, be consistent with your message, be consistent with your niche and your audience, and from there you'll build trust. That trust will compound and you'll receive opportunities. If you want any more tips, if you want to ask me any questions, please leave a comment below. Remember to subscribe if you got anything from this, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.